many of the social issues, I think we have come up short as well. I have beliefs that are very, very attuned to individual liberty and keeping the government out of our lives and out of our bedrooms and out of our wallet. But I also believe that the unborn fetus is a human being and deserves absolute protection of the law. Various ways that this should be taken care of. On occasion, there will be a right to life vote that I will not come down on the side like it seems like I'm on that side. But mainly I approach this is, should be a state issue, the federal government should be doing it, acts of violence should be taken care of by the states. What should be corrected is Roe versus Wade should be repealed. Bill called We the People's Act, and what it does, it removes the jurisdiction from the federal court on numerous items, like prayer in school, pledges, and abortion issues, and all the social issues, marriage laws. They, under the Constitution, were meant to be local and under the state. And so if a We the People's Act approach was to be followed, it would be so much easier. It's part of the Constitution. You only have to have a majority vote. You don't have to amend the Constitution on some of these other issues. So in many ways, I think conservatives on their social issues were shortchanged because there was a lot of talk and little action to take care of this when it could have been so simple as to just remove the jurisdiction of so many of these things. I believe very sincerely that the purpose of all political action is to promote liberty. No more complicated than that. Liberty is the issue that solves our problems. It is only done when you have faith and confidence and understanding that free people can and will take care of themselves. The welfare nanny state doesn't work in bankrupt countries, and it has done that. Socialism has been a failure. The most significant event of the 20th century was the collapse of the Soviet system, which was predicted by the Austrian free market economists because that economic system is non-functional. But this system is not much better other than the fact that it's less authoritarian, but economically it's the same thing. Spend and print and inflate and regulate and tell people what to do, that usually ends up the same way. It will eventually have to be changed. The big question is what will come in and what will replace it. The cause of liberty is worth the fight. It certainly is worth your interest as young people. That is why I'm delighted to see so many here, because it is under those circumstances that where there are difficulties that you come in with a replacement. And it isn't like it's something new. My message is not new. My message is something that was brought together a couple hundred years ago by the founders of this country, which ushered in a great document, a great system, maximum amount of freedom, and a maximum amount of prosperity. But we have neglected it. Now, we take care of everybody from the cradle to the grave. We tell everybody what they can smoke and drink and eat and do everything else. At the same time, we are trying to remold the world in our image by force. And we're going broke doing it. So there's a vacuum out there that we have to fill. We have to fill it with some traditional ideas built around what made America great and clearly stated in the Constitution. But on the bright side of all this, your difficulties are tough, but on the bright side of this, compared to what I was facing at your age, things are much, much better. Not the conditions of this U.S. government and our finances, not the conditions of the dollar, but the conditions of the freedom movement. It is alive and well. It's spreading. There are more groups than ever. There was about one group in the 1950s and the early 1960s that I could depend on. Now there are dozens and dozens, and you have a magic tool, a fantastic tool. It's called the Internet. It's fantastic. And you can communicate. And even individuals that might not get $100 million for a campaign can actually communicate with millions of people. And I think it's very encouraging. I'm delighted to invite you to join me in my efforts to promote the cause of liberty. Thank you very much.